Morning. Come on in. Come on, share it as you come on in. Share the live. Come on. Come on. Come on. I don't got a lot of time today. I don't got a lot of time. I need you to get to the point quickly. All right. Tag somebody, share it on your page. I got 3 points that I need to discuss with you. Happy Friday. I hope this blesses you at life and of value to you. All right. I taught a message on Sunday, right, about forgiveness. And it's called fighting unforgiveness. And just the difficulties we go through while trying to forgive. Now, let me tell you right now, there is a battle in unforgiveness or in trying to forgive someone. It is never going to be as easy as we would preach it or discuss it. Living it out is always the most difficult process. Living it out is always the most difficult part and chore. And so this is where we are. We're in this place of trying to figure out, what does it look like? What does it feel like to really be able to forgive? Now, here we go. I got just 3 points I want to discuss. I promise you I won't take a lot of time. All right, 3 points. Point one, the closer they are, the harder it is to forgive. All right, you're going to understand that forgiveness comes in stages. And the stages it comes in is the closer the person is to you, the harder it is to forgive them, because the more you let them in. All right, so the more you let them in, the harder it is to forgive. This is why. Because as they're leaving your life, that's the more doors you have to close behind them. So imagine if you just let them into your front porch. That's not much. You didn't have much relationship. That's one door. So if the person from the front porch leaves your life, it's not a difficult task for you because you just closed the front door. But if a person made it all the way to your bedroom, then it's so many more doors, right? If it was romantic and it was a personal, interpersonal relationship, then you got to close the bedroom door and the bathroom door and the kitchen door and the living room door and the main door and the porch door. There are so many more doors that have to be closed behind them. So the closer they are, the harder it is to forgive them. Sometimes you question yourself and say, where was my discernment? How did I let them get so close and I not be able to catch it? How did I let this person get so intimate with me and my discernment not kick in to see what was happening? I've been there to where you can be close with someone, it's been years, and then you try to figure out later, how did I miss the glaring signs or the red flags where God was trying to show me over and over who this person was, but I just simply missed it. And I allowed them too close. And let me tell you, sometimes being too close, you cannot see the full picture. All right, if you take your hand and put your hand in front of your face right now, put it as close as you can to your eyes. You actually can't see your hand. Put your hand close to your eyes and you can't see it. You can't see the grooves. You can't see the lines. And it's not until you take your hand away and you can see the grooves, you can see the marks, you can see the lines, you can see the pigmentation, you can see the color. It happens as you create some distance. And sometimes you have to disconnect from a situation. I don't got a lot of time, so y'all got to get this work. Sometimes you have to disconnect from a situation, begin to pull back to see just how detrimental it's been to you and or to your health. So the closer they are, the harder it is to forgive. Remember that, all right? You got to work more intentionally. The closer they were, you got to work more intentionally. Because sometimes on their way out, they break walls, tear up doors, damage places, and damage things. So you got to spend that time even repairing. So sometimes forgiveness is repair. It's the hurt, which leads me to my next point, that the more you sacrifice for them, the harder it is to forgive. Because sometimes it's the damage, it's what you gave up to love a person, it's what you gave up to accommodate them. It's what you gave up to love them. It's what you gave up to be there for them. And so when that kind of person damages you, or this kind of person hurts you, or this kind of person wounds you, it's a very, very deep hurt and wound because of what you sacrifice to keep them. I see this happen so often in the faith world, or those who operate in ministry who give up their calling, give up their sanctity, give up their purity for a boyfriend or a girlfriend, just to have that person misuse them, damage them, and walk away, leaving them holding the bag of bricks that they came in with. And it's like, I hurt so deeply because I gave up so much for this individual. Or maybe you gave up the way you were living, or gave up money, or gave up your job, time, position, gave up space, right? Gave up years to be with a person only to find out in the end, right, that the person you sacrificed so much for really didn't value, really didn't appreciate what you had sacrificed for them. And so it's harder to forgive because you feel like you lost in them walking away. But sometimes you have to remind yourself that you didn't lose. All right. Anything that you did or invested is because it came from your heart. It's something you wanted to do. And if a person did not value and appreciate that, it is their loss. I need you to understand that. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, if they didn't value and appreciate what it is that I brought to the table, it's their loss, right? And the next person is going to get the value, the blessing, the purity that I bring, the appreciation that I bring, if you would. Right? They're going to get it. They're going to see it. They're going to experience it. All right. So when you sacrifice a lot, when you give a lot for someone, and then they still misvalue you, it hurts harder. It hurts deeper. And so it's harder to forgive those places. But even there, you have to work on forgiving. Forgiving even once you sacrifice. Forgiving even once you've allowed them to come in close. All right. My last point is probably going to be the most powerful point of the morning devotion. I need you to catch this. There's nothing worse than literally killing yourself to heal someone else and your death still not be enough. This one is going to hit home for so many people. Some of you is beyond sacrifice. It's beyond close. You've literally given all that you have. You have killed yourself on the altar of their appreciation, on the altar of their happiness. You have killed yourself on the altar of their joy and their wants and their desires. And still, after killing yourself and giving everything that you had, it still wasn't enough. And I need to give you this word. For a person who doesn't want you, no matter what you give, it won't be enough. For a person that doesn't want you, no matter what you give, it won't be enough, because it's not you. It's not you. They want something different. And you're giving all that you have, literally giving blood. Some of you would give an artery, a kidney, a lung, if you could, just for the person to appreciate you and see your value. Some of you have lost yourself and what you call love and relationships so deeply, trying to find, how can I get this person to see that I love them and to see that I'm here for them and to see that I have their back, and it never happens. It never culminates. It never comes to fruition, because you killing yourself for somebody who didn't want you in the first place, it hurts you more when they don't even show up to the funeral. When they see you bleed and they don't even stop to bandage your wound. Because it's not about you giving more. Hear me. You don't help somebody by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. I learned this the hard way sometimes in life. I need you to get this. You don't help somebody by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. All right. If they already don't appreciate it, then you giving them more of it isn't going to help them appreciate it more. I don't appreciate what you already gave me, so giving me more doesn't help. It's like if you don't like carrot cake and I cut you 2 slices of carrot cake and you don't eat it. Well, me bringing you 6 slices next time doesn't change your appetite. It doesn't change your desire or your palate. If you didn't eat the 2 slices, you're not going to eat the 6 slices. I might as well stop wasting my time. And find out what is it that you actually want, because I'm giving you more of what you already didn't consume. I'm giving you more of what you already didn't appreciate. I'm giving you more of what you already haven't placed a value upon. And now I'm killing myself, sacrificing myself, right? Trying to give all that I have for somebody, and it still isn't enough. It's like what Jesus did. There was no miracle. There was no death being turned to life. There was no sickness being healed. There was enough for people who didn't want to believe in him. The Pharisees and Sadducees had made up in their mind they weren't going to believe. It didn't matter who he raised from the dead. It didn't matter who he healed. They said he healed people by demons. It didn't matter what he did. They had found a reason because they made up in their minds. We do not believe in him. We do not want him. He is not our Savior. And if you are not wanted or desired, here you are trying to save somebody. Here you are trying to put yourself on the cross of the altar to help save them. You can't save anybody. Only Jesus saves. Let me tell you something. I want to save you, but I'm not God. You hear me? I want to heal you, but I'm not God. I want to pick you up above the clouds and lift you over your troubles, your traumas, your pain, your triggers. But the reality is I'm not God. Only God can do it. Only Jesus can save. And I'm supposed to be Christ-like, but I can't be Christ. And if I'm trying to be Jesus in your life, then what I'm actually doing is setting a pathway up for me that I cannot walk in, shoes that I cannot fulfill. I have to let God be the one that saves you. I can love you, but only he can save you. But if I'm expecting that my love is going to save, I'm expecting that my kindness and that me being good is going to make you change, I've wasted my time. Because you cannot change a person who has made up in their mind they don't need to be changed. Listen to me. I'm going to help you get free today. You can't do it. You can't change them. You got to be willing to let them go. And in part of letting them go, in parting of forgiving them, you got to forgive yourself. You have to be able to forgive yourself and say, you know what, I made a lot of bad decisions here. Or maybe I stayed way past my due date. Or I stayed way past my time. All right, the same womb, I need you to hear me. The same womb that nurtures a baby and gives it life and gives it purpose and gives it nourishment and nutrients, that same womb becomes deadly if that baby stays in there too long. The same womb that heals and creates in the first trimester, the second trimester, and third trimester. Nobody ever discusses the fourth trimester. The fourth one is called death. When things begin to erode and fall apart and die inside the womb, the same thing that gave life begins to kill you if you stay in it too long. And I'm giving you this word. Some of the stuff that's killing you is only because you stayed past your due date. You stayed past your due date. The placenta broke. You are now consuming deadly toxin. Are you listening to me? Please hear me. It could have given you life before, but if you stayed past the due date, what gave you life will begin to kill you. Because you were only meant to be there. I wish I had just 10 people. You were only meant to be there. It was only meant to feed you for a specified time. But there was a cutoff time. There was a due date. It's a time when you're supposed to come out of some stuff. Right? Come out of some places that were healthy for you before. But now you got to go get some healing. I pray this bless you. Let me pray for you, God. My prayer is that they will receive this and receive love, receive peace, receive joy. Pray, God, that they will see you in every single way. In every single way that they would value you. I pray that they would learn to forgive today. If nobody else, start with forgiving themselves. For maybe feeling like they missed the signs all the years. I pray for peace, that this weekend will be a weekend of blessing for them. In Yeshua's name, amen. If you're looking for a church home, Evolve Church, 7501 North Granville Road, all right? Evolve Church every Sunday at 10 a.m., 12 noon. I promise you, the word going to bless you. You got to come out, all right? You got to come out. I promise you, it's going to bless you. Listen, share this video, share the live. If you want to sow to it, Cash App, money sign, Ken Lock, all right? Money sign, KENLOCK. If it blessed you, if it didn't, I'm sorry. But love you anyways, all right? Y'all be good.